So, I played 50 days of Stardew Valley as a beginner. Now, I had a couple of goals. One was to figure out what the game is, and two is to complete the game. A few subscribers were like, you should play Stardew Valley. And I said, okay, let me check this out. I was under the impression that it was just a more kind of pixelated Minecraft kind of game, but like with the Pokemon UI. Boy, was I wrong. Turns out you can build, you can farm, you can fish, you can mine. Apparently you can marry. You can fix the town, and God knows what else, because I haven't made it that far. And then you have stuff like seasons. Like, I thought this was a game, but apparently the conditions match with some of the tasks that you can do. Like, you have certain criteria in terms of what you can plant and what you can't plant. And I probably should have read the bio or the about part of the section when I was buying it from Steam. Anyhow, I made about 50 episodes giving life advice whilst playing the game. Pretty badly, I must say. And so this is day one. The day one consisted of me trying to use the hoe to get rid of some of the crops, which, yeah, I know, I'm not the greatest gamer. Then I decided, you know what, let's go ahead and explore, because exploring is probably one of the most fun things to do on any game. Then I went to explore the town, and as I do in every Pokemon game, try to talk to every single person possible. And then, taking my Pokemon logic to this game as well, and my Pokemon prowess, I must say from Fire Red and Ruby, always check the bins, because the bins in those kind of games, they give you crazy loot, sometimes. In this game, not so much. I didn't get a single thing. And then somehow, without even me knowing that there's even fishing in this game, I decided to talk about fishing. No idea there, but I guess it was relatable to real life in some regard.
Being there. Like, for example, I could say, alright, I want 50 fish in this river right here. And if it doesn't, my mood's gonna get sour. That's not how we should live life. We should actually just live life in, I guess, the flow of the river. If the fish comes, the fish comes. If it doesn't, it doesn't. At the end of the day, I'm still gonna turn up. I'm still gonna fish. Some days may be good, some days will be essentially learning processes. Not every fish will go to the bait. There's a gentleness that kind of comes with that, because you're not really being so harsh on constant expectations of life.
And once upon realizing that, I decided I'm gonna go live in the cave on the farm, because I guess that's just shelter, right? No, I'm just joking. But I did explore that, and I still to this day don't know what I'm gonna do in there. I'm guessing you just decorate it a bunch, and yeah, apart from that, I'm not really too sure on what I'd do with a cave. Maybe it could be like a little party spot for all the night goers in the town, Pelican Town. So day two pretty much consisted of me going to the beach, figuring out what this random clam that I just picked up does, and then exploring the pier, in which to the point I didn't know what this building was for, and then I tried to get inside of it, and the guy just said I'll be back tomorrow. So I'm like, okay, cool, what do I do for the next day? Like, what do I, like, now what? To the point where I just decided to go ahead and explore the museum and figure out what is the purpose of this. Now, is it like Minecraft where you have to enchant books and stuff like that? Then it was just complete more exploring, just way more of what is going on in this town and who am I trying to speak to? How do I achieve this mission of greeting 28 people? To the point where I actually stumbled upon Rapunzel's tower, a sort of wizard tower if you will, and still not knowing to this day how to unlock it. Then I decided to take the worst way back home, and through all of the rocks and the grubble and rubble that was left behind, and I was just like, this is a big headache. So day three was basically me just figuring out how to fish for the first time, and I didn't even know that there was fishing on this game like that, to be honest, at this point, despite the previous video. So seeing Willy on the pier, and I'm like, okay, what do you want from me now? What's this cutscene for? Then I found a fishing rod, and as soon as I touched this thing, like I was in literal heaven. I guess you could say I was hooked onto it, am I right? Anyway. Day four, I was on a mission. I was on a mission to greet every single person in the town. As you can see, I've only got 11 out of 28. So I go and try to figure out how to do this, but it turns out it's 7 AM and everyone doesn't wake up till 9. So then I just go and try and figure out just a random thing to sort of do, which is just take care of the absolute mess that my farm has. Day 6 begins by just clearing out more space on my farm. Don't know if it's the OCD in me, but then I got bored and decided to explore the town, in which I'm finding the lore is getting crazier and crazier in this town. Like, I'm seeing cutscenes every day, and this is not something I expected at all in this game. So I'm just thinking, do I have to fix this thing, because it looks like it hasn't been used in years. And Lewis over here, he spits some facts, you know. A lot of people would rather spend more time in front of the TV, which is true nowadays, but it's to be expected. And then I saw this green blob thing and I was so confused. I'm thinking, is this some kind of like monster that's behind the town? What is the lore? I'm actually getting eager to learn about this now, and what kind of story that this game has now, because it's starting to really like tease in a sense, really. And the reason why I say that is because I had a second cutscene of the day, which was to do with two kids next to a sewer. Now, I don't know what compelled these two to really try and explore a sewer, but I don't know. And it reminds me of the scene from Spider-Man where there was that one monster, lizard monster in the sewer, and I'm just like, no. As a kid, what really? Come on, let's I don't want to say let's grow up now because you're kids, but that's not exactly the most adventuring thing you want to really be exploring, right? What really got me intrigued was this thing, this key that was supposed to unlock this sewer. Now, I'm not sure if the lore gets even deeper than this, but I think there might be something inside of it, because the way that these two kids jump and get startled and say that there's something moving around there, which my character unwillingly decided to check out, got scared. So still haven't explored that to this day. Then I decided to stumble into the absolutely expensive place called Jojo Mart, where I've only got 242 bucks out here. I mean, look at the worker, she's absolutely exhausted, and I don't know why this Morris guy has a really evil smile to him, but I think he might be exploiting these workers, so I don't know if that's part of the lore too. And speaking of villains, I saw some anti-hero looking guy in the mines over here called Marlo. Now, he tells me all about this mining place that I'm like, okay, this might be one of my favorite games now, because you can fish and now you can mine. But the thing is, right, he seems like one of those dudes that kind of supervises the people that go in and actually fight. Either way, he still gave me a rusty sword, so I'm happy. I was like, I get to fight in the dungeon. I'm like, get this leak out of here. I don't need none of this. I want to go exploring in the dungeons and in the mines. I want to get the top bounty monsters and get all the gold that I can get. And that's what I did. I went forward into the dungeon and I started exploring. The only problem was I didn't have enough storage. I came pretty ill-equipped and I basically couldn't get anything out of the dungeon apart from a little bit of copper and a geode. And then day 8 was pretty much consisting of me talking to Clint. I don't know what I'm going to do with this, and even to this day I think I've only smelted 2 copper bars. And then suddenly from that I got like bunch more new journal things to do, so I thought, oh, let's slowly go through this, craft a furnace for example, and reach level 5 in the mines, and then pretty much from there just organizing stuff really. So now we have some traction, so now we can actually make more progress on the game. And guess what, they say there's an affordable backpack. That thing is not affordable in the slightest, alright? And then turns out there was a whole party going on in the town, which I couldn't really afford anything from here. But the food looked good. It looked like it was cooked with a bit of retro pixelated love, I guess. I don't know who the cook is in the town, but they did a good job. And at this point, I'm still trying to find every single person in the town to talk to, because they said, I think 27 out of 28. I don't think this really counted as sort of talking to people. It was just a main event, if you will. There was another egg hunt. So I'm rushing. I'm like 40 seconds, okay, cool. Where do I go? Get that girl out of here. She doesn't deserve the egg. I do. Next egg. And then I end up getting 7 eggs from the bottom of the town. Now, I don't know how quickly people done this. I thought I won. I thought, 7 is a pretty good number considering and how much time I actually had. But no, Abigail won. I was a bit bummed out by that, and so I went to sleep. And I was so bummed out that I decided to head into the mines to take out my anger on a few slimes. In which, by the way, I did make it to level 5, so that achievement was done. So day 10 was just about exploring how to do more of the journal, how to complete the game, or at least make advancements, right? Saw Lewis, and then I saw a pig with glasses and an apple on his head. Now, I don't think I would have ever guessed I would ever see that in my entire life, but I did. So apparently this is a shopkeeper. I'm not sure why they're selling fried eel. but nonetheless everything was a bit too expensive for my liking. But I did spot this rare seed, but it was a bit too much of a gamble to take, because 1,000 for one seed, I don't even know how much I'm gonna get for that. And so this is part 1 of the series. Let me know if you guys like it. Again, I'm just experimenting with a few things, so I thought I'd give it a go. And yeah, not the greatest gamer, again, have to say that again, because you're probably gonna get some Stardew fans in the lobby. Feel free to leave a comment down, and yeah, I'll see you in the next one.